Long ago, stories of monstrous beings began to surface, whispered among ancient communities and passed down through generations. These creatures preyed on the living, striking fear into the hearts of villagers and townsfolk alike. They were often described as demonic spirits or revenants, returning from the dead to haunt the living. These beings craved blood and instilled fear in ancient communities, becoming the stuff of nightmares. Ancient cultures developed myths and rituals to protect themselves from these creatures, believing in the power of these practices. Garlic, sunlight, and holy symbols were believed to ward off these evil entities, providing a sense of security. Tales of these creatures passed down through generations would later coalesce into the vampire myths we know today, shaping our understanding of these beings. These early legends laid the groundwork for the vampire archetype, a creature of darkness that embodied humanity's deepest fears, forever etched in our collective imagination. Vampire myths are not unique to one culture. They appear in various forms across the globe. In Eastern Europe, vampires were often linked to disease and plague. Chinese folklore tells of the Jiangshi, a hopping vampire seeking qi, or life force. African legends feature the Asambosan, a vampire with iron teeth that hunts from the trees. These cultural variations demonstrate the universal fear of the unknown and the anxieties surrounding death and disease. Each culture projected its fears and beliefs onto the vampire myth, shaping its unique characteristics. The image of the vampire has transformed drastically over time. Early depictions portrayed them as monstrous and grotesque figures. However, the 18th and 19th centuries saw a shift toward a more romantic and aristocratic portrayal. Vampires became alluring figures, often depicted as seductive and sophisticated. This transformation was largely influenced by literature and the Romantic movement, which explored themes of beauty, darkness, and forbidden desire. The vampire, once a figure of pure horror, became a more complex and nuanced character, embodying both attraction and repulsion. Dracula and beyond, shaping modern vampire lore. The late 19th century saw the birth of the modern vampire with Bram Stoker's Dracula, a novel that would forever change the landscape of horror literature. Published in 1897, the novel introduced iconic traits that have become synonymous with vampire lore. These included fangs, a vulnerability to sunlight, and an insatiable thirst for blood, elements that have been endlessly replicated and reimagined. Dracula heavily influenced subsequent vampire literature, film and television, setting a template for future stories. It established tropes that remain popular today, captivating audiences across generations. From the seductive and dangerous Dracula to the tragic and misunderstood creatures of Anne Rice's novels, the vampire mythos evolved. Vampires became a staple of popular culture, appearing in countless books, movies, and TV shows. These works explored themes of immortality, morality, and the complexities of good versus evil, offering rich narratives that continue to fascinate. Twilight and True Blood vampires in contemporary culture. The 21st century brought a new wave of vampire narratives. These stories often reimagined traditional vampire lore. Stephenie Meyer's Twilight series, for example, presented vampires as shimmering romantic figures. HBO's True Blood explored the integration of vampires into modern society. These contemporary narratives reflect evolving societal anxieties and desires. They tackle themes of identity, acceptance, and the struggle for individuality in a modern world. A timeless allure, why vampires endure. Vampires continue to captivate audiences centuries after the first legends emerged, from the dark tales of Eastern Europe to the silver screen of Hollywood. Their enduring appeal lies in their ability to adapt and reflect our deepest anxieties and societal fears. Vampires represent our fears of the unknown, the allure of immortality, and the consequences of our darkest desires, often mirroring our own internal struggles. They are complex figures, often straddling the line between monster and human, embodying both our nightmares and our fantasies. Their stories allow us to explore moral ambiguity and the duality of our nature, questioning what it means to be truly human. As long as we grapple with these timeless themes, the allure of the vampire will likely endure, evolving with us into the future, reflecting our ever-changing world.